Hey Facebook Live, welcome to Sex, the Story Behind the Pleasure. For those of you who've been watching me for a while, I'm back to my music. I haven't played music a long time. So this is Daddy by Beyonce. So I'm gonna let that play a little bit. I'm trying not to sing tonight. I'm gonna try. Well, I'm gonna sing. I'm trying to remember the word. This is from her first album, y'all. And I got the words right here, so I might can sing along. She put me overcome. So in my, if I wasn't an author teacher, I could sing, y'all. No, I'm just playing. I can't sing. I sing at home. Well, not in public. I'll say that. You support me when you hear my pain. You understand my business and protect me. I am one son to be like my daddy. I'm my husband to be like my daddy. There is no one else like my daddy. When I replay this, I'm gonna hear how I really sound, y'all. And I'm gonna laugh like I'm laughing now. I'm gonna go ahead and stop there, and I'll play the rest of it. I'll try to play the rest of it at the end. But welcome to Sex, the Story Behind the Pleasure. I am Shamel Jackson, the owner of Breaking It Down with C. Jackson, author of Wait, Women in Intimate Tales. I'm here every Tuesday on Facebook, Central Standard Time, at 7 o'clock p.m., bringing you different topics related to sex. You can still catch all of my old broadcasts. They're still up. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, and obviously I'm also on Facebook. So you can find out more information about Breaking It Down with C. Jackson in all of those places. But welcome if it's your first time coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're not scared, say hey in the comments and tell me where you're tuning in from, and let me know that this is your first time coming in. If it's not your first time, well, welcome back. So hey everybody, let me know how you guys are doing. How is the summer? Is it really hot where you at, or is it really cold where you at? But as I said, this is Sex, the Story Behind the Pleasure, and tonight I'm going to be focusing on fathers. I titled this broadcast Fathers because, well, Sunday is Father's Day, y'all. And you know what? I got to thinking, I was looking at my phone, and I was about to find my phone, y'all, and I'm using it to talk to y'all. I was looking at my phone's calendar, and you know how, well, I know on my phone, they have put some of the holidays already in your calendar. And so they have Christmas and Thanksgiving. I think they even have Halloween. I don't know, but I know they have those major holidays. And so I noticed when I got to June, I didn't see Father's Day in my calendar. I don't know if I deleted it by mistake or it just was never there. I'm like, well, why would I delete it? I don't really know. Why would I do that? I don't know. But I didn't see it. And so I'm just like, but they had Mother's Day. I'm like, you know, well, we can't have mothers if we don't. You can't be a mom unless the father exists. So, I mean, like, one don't work without the other. So, in order to be a mom, you have to be a father. I mean, you have to have there's a father somewhere. But anyway, we're not going to go there. That's probably a whole nother broadcast on the importance of fathers. I'm just going to touch on it probably throughout the stories I mentioned tonight. But feel free to share this broadcast if you want to. If you want to wait till the end to share it, that's cool with me. A lot of times I listen to people, don't always share immediately, but I kind of follow them and see what they're talking about. This is something I want people to know about or inform them, because sometimes it can just be for you or whatever. But I think this is great broadcast, obviously, because I'm hosting it. But feel free to share while you're watching or when it's over. But yes, do that. But Father's Day is this Sunday, and I wanted to come in and talk about, you know, some of the thing, well, one particular thing about my dad, and as far as, and it's related to sex. Like, I know that sounds creepy when I say it, but it'll make sense as I'm talking, and y'all just don't know. You know, we're talking about sex, relationships, love. All of this is all related because it just goes together. So I just think it's perfect. And so one of the things that I want to say about my dad is that he is great about affirming me, like, you know, congratulating me, praising me, giving me compliments, all those things. And I can go back until I was a little girl that he's always done that, you know, and that's so great. And, you know, I talked about things that, and when Mother Day was around, I talked about things that my mom taught me, and now, so June, I want to focus on fathers. And so that is what my dad has given me and put inside of me, affirming me. Even now, you know, things that I've done, he's saying, you know, good job. And even when I can remember when I was fresh out of college, or from getting my undergraduate degree, I didn't immediately go into my field, so I had to work some jobs that I didn't really want to work, and he knew that I didn't want to do that. But, you know, I'm grateful, because if I had not worked at the job that I was, this book would have not been happened, because there's something. If you read my book, or if you read my book, you know that the reason I wrote this book is something that happened to me at my job. So anyway, you know, it's just great. It's just all great. Everything happens for a reason, so I'm grateful for it. But even during that time, I didn't want to be there. But my dad would encourage me. He would say, you're going to find that job. You are going to be smart, beautiful, all that type of stuff. You know, and that just, you know, you never know how much that stuff means to you after the fact. You're like, Dad, okay, yeah, Dad. But at the moment, like, I'm really trying to get past this point. I want to find a job, all this stuff. But just having that from my dad is major, because now as I get older, or even then, you know, as a child, that's important, because a lot of times you will approach, and especially for women, that's important for your dad to affirm you, because now when you go out into the world, this guy's gonna approach you, and this guy's gonna approach you, and you're gonna be like, they're gonna be saying all kinds of stuff, but it ain't gonna matter to you. I mean, it's good that they saying those things, but if they don't, or if they say nasty things to you, you're gonna be like, that ain't what my daddy told me who I was. Like, what you know? And so that's why I'm saying that is so important for dads to do, especially for daughters, because women want affection and love. We're so emotional, so it's so important that you continue to affirm us. For some reason, it's not being shown in. I would try to watch after this post. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. I'm sorry, Danielle. I see your comment. I don't know why it's not letting you join in, but thanks for trying. But yeah, watch it. You can try to watch it when it's posted. But yeah. So when when a guy approaches you, and either if it's just the right way or the wrong way, especially if it's the wrong way, you're gonna be like, okay, that's not how my dad talks to me. No. Like, or if it's the right way, you're like, okay, that's how my dad told me a man should talk to me. Or if you know, you're really not, it's basic, you're not gonna take a lot of mess when your dad is constantly telling you, okay, this, or any male figure. I'll just say that because a lot of times a lot of people don't have a dad to do that, and so it could be any male figure that's, you know, in your life, that's poured into you, that's, you know, saying you're beautiful. And this just doesn't start at 16. This starts like a long time ago. And so speaking of that, there was a video of one of my Facebook friends that she posted, and it was a video of her, the father of her child was singing to his daughter, and she was like months old, and he was singing to her daughter. I think it was You Are So Beautiful. You are so beautiful to me. So yeah, that was the song he was singing. I was like, this is amazing. Like, it's just amazing. I just like this. She's only a couple of months old, but he's singing that to her, and I'm like, he's planting seeds into her. So now that's in there. If he continues to do that and just do different things as she gets older, she's gonna be like, my daddy told me I was beautiful. My daddy told me I was this. My daddy told me I was that. So And that even goes if you don't have a dad, an earthly dad that's there for you. God is also my father. So even if my earthly father doesn't tell me this, God is my father. And so as I get older, I had to continue to learn what God thinks of me. And so once y'all, this is so important because this is going to affect every area of your life. Like when you figure out who you are, like really who you are, who God has called you to be, nothing else really matters. Like nothing else even matters. Even if, and that's something, and you still want your parents to continue to praise you and affirm. But I'm just saying, if you don't have that, you always have God as your father to continue to tell you who you are and who you were called to be. So when somebody comes at you with stuff that don't line up with what you've already been told, you say bye. So it's the same thing, earthly, spiritual, whatever, And so and so back to the guy that was singing. So he was singing to her. I told her, I said, that was so amazing. I said, I'm going to mention this during my Father's Day broadcast. I just thought it was great that he was singing it. And I was like, I wish I could, share and post. I don't know if she want me to do that. I don't really know, but I just didn't even ask. I forgot to ask, but I definitely wanted to mention it. But if she's watching this, if she already know who she is, if she's watching this, if you could let me share it, that would be awesome. But so let me know. Or maybe when this broadcast is over, I'll inbox her like, please let me share it. That was kudos to him. But that's, fathers, you gotta do that, y'all. You gotta, and I work around, I see so many young girls out there, and every situation is different. So I see so many young girls walking and behaving like they are not a treasure. And so I don't know what the background story is all the time, but sometimes it can just be as simple as the dad was not there to tell this young lady, you're beautiful, your body is precious, you're precious to me, you mean the world. So if she didn't get that can explain a lot of things. So that affects, her sexual life, her relationship, love, how she approaches relationships. So y'all, as y'all can see, I always go by the quote Frederick Douglass. It's better to build strong children than repair broken men. Period. It seems like every situation I think about, that is where I go back to. That's the quote that I go back to, and I've heard it a couple of times this year. So it's clearly, I'm not the only one. I think that's a brilliant quote, and it's so true because if you're building strong children, they can make better decisions when they're as a child and when they get older. And so that reminds me of scripture in Ephesians about don't make your children angry, but instruct them in the way of the Lord. So that the Lord loves on us. So the fathers are to as well, and discipline us. So it's got to work both ways. But those are just a couple of stories. And another one I wanted to mention, and this right here, y'all, I thought this story was put the icing on the cake. I don't know if y'all seen this video, but I can tell y'all to search for it. But it was in May, I think, and there was a dad. He was at his daughter's. It was after his daughter's graduation, high school graduation. He gave her a promise ring and told her don't take it off until some guy, a really great guy comes, something like that great guy comes along and replaces it. And so I think a lot of people were like, well, he's not, promise rings are for this, and this is too much, and guys gonna get the wrong idea and think she's married and all this type of stuff. But that wasn't his intentions. I looked at it as, first of all, okay, I think the thing with promise rings and purity rings, all that's kind of different. Okay, you have your purity promise ring, because you're gonna, wait till you're married to have sex, and then you have your promise ring that sometimes couples have, and that's a whole nother broadcast, y'all. But I want to just talk about this father giving her, his daughter, his promise ring. Like, so every time she sees that ring, she can put it on another hand if she wants to. He could have been a necklace. I don't know. He could have gave her a necklace and that would make everyone happy. But he wanted to do that, and so every time she looks at the ring, she say, okay, this is a reminder my dad told me he wants the best for me. He don't want this ring to be removed until somebody that's worthy comes along and replace it. And I said, that is amazing to me. That dad could have been doing a lot of things that's not good, but instead he was, first of all, he was at his daughter's graduation. I don't know this couple. I mean, I don't know this I don't know this family. I just saw it on the internet. You know, I don't know him. I don't know what their background story is, but I just thought that that piece right there is amazing. So every time she looked at the ring, she'd say, okay, my dad told me this. Dude, you gotta go. My dad told me this. Dude, you gotta go. My dad told me this. Okay, you might can stay and let me see. So, and even if she messes up, she gonna look at the ring, okay, that wasn't it. Let me go back and do this again and come to my senses. So it's just what it represents. I wish people would just stop just being so extra and just appreciate the fact that here's a dad, and let's not mention that he's African American, that is at his daughter's graduation and gave her a ring. He gave her a ring. So now, you know, people may say, oh, well, he's the next guy's gonna have a hard time. Well, he should. He should, because we are valuable. Women are valuable, men are valuable. So he should work hard to get, if he really loves her, likes her, or things like that, he should work for her. And so that just, you know, those are, well, I told you 3 stories tonight, you know, by my dad, the guy that was singing, and then the promise ring that was given to his daughter. So what y'all think about that? Do you agree that, you know, he should have gave her the promise ring? Is it too much? Is it taking the promise ring out of context? What do you think about fathers affirming daughters, and not just daughters, sons too? I mean, it's gonna look different, but even you know, sons too. And I know I was focusing on I'm not focused on women on purpose. It's just that was what I wanted to share, and I just kind of added other stories with dealing with fathers and daughters. And so obviously people, you know, each child, male or female, needs their dad. And so I just know I've seen how the absence of a dad can affect how women do in relationships. And so I don't think I have paid attention or seen as much how it affects men in relationships. Now that would be a good one, y'all. How does the absence of a dad affect a male in the relationship when it comes to relationships? That's interesting. That's interesting. Does it because they don't have a male, if they don't have a male figure there at all, does it affect how they treat a woman? Does it affect, you know, does it make them not want to commit? Okay, now I'm thinking about, you know, different people, men that I have encountered, whether it's for like friendship or whatever, just encounter, period. Now I'm starting to think about stories and I'm wondering, is it because they didn't have a dad that did this? Or, you know, just what do y'all guys think? List some reasons, list some examples of how the effect of how the absence of a father can affect men when it comes to sex, relationships, and love. Do they go off and try to find love with other men? I'm just being real. Do they go off and, you know, be a womanizer? I mean, like, what? There's so many things that can happen because you didn't have a dad or some kind of positive male role model. So, you know, even if you're watching the replay, please figure out, y'all know I love the comments on the videos when I'm doing the videos, even when after. So it's just interesting to see the comments. Oh, I say here, I can't hear y'all, but interesting to see the comments, period, and let me know what y'all think. This is interesting, y'all, and I'm hoping for the rest of June I want to have a guest for Greenberg Connection. Also, as y'all can see, my background's a little different. I'm at the library, y'all, and so which means I'm still looking for a place to do broadcasts. This is just temporary, but I am at the library. But this is a nice setting too. So if you know any places in Memphis that will allow me to, you know, rent out, go into in there and do Sex and Story Behind the Pleasure every Tuesday for about 2 hours. I need the space. Put that in the comments too. Inbox me, email, whatever you need to do. I would love to do that. And also, if you have questions about anything that's going on, we're breaking it down with C. Jackson. Like, for example, I have an event coming up in Memphis, July 22nd. It's called Queens in Waiting. This is the flyer I got made. And it's like, you want to know, you calling all girls 13 to 17, you want to know what the wait on sex is like? What comes to Queens in Waiting, because there are going to be women there that share their stories of celibacy and what it was like and what it is like, so including me. So I'll be there giving you all I can about my journey. It's just amazing. It's not a bad journey. I'm just telling you what the journey is. And so that's July 2nd, Saturday, 1 to 3 at Jason's Deli on Poplar Avenue. It's just for the teens, y'all. So no, not the parents of the teens. It's not for the parents of the teens. It's just for the teens of those parents. And so it's going to be great. I'm excited. It'll be food, games. I'm going to take pictures there, so there will be a media release form that needs to be signed. So if you don't have a team, if you want to sponsor a team, inbox me on that too. Contact me for more information on that. Share this with people who have teams. Share this with your church. Share this with youth leaders. Just share it. You just never know who needs it. Just share. And anyway, and you look on my page, look on my Breaking It Down with C. Jackson page for more information on everything. And so, and always email me, inbox me questions about the event. And so the first 5, and it's already 2 people that purchased. So first 5 teens that register get a free book. Get my book with the cost of admission. So the cost is $5. Of course, when you go through Eventbrite, it's going to do the fee, so it'll be, I think, $6.12. But you're getting this. If you register, the first 5 people get a book, some advice, food, games, fellowship. Like, look at all this, 5 for 5. Like, come on, y'all. I probably can list even more, but that's what I got tonight. So it's gonna be great. I'm excited. I'm just excited, y'all. Like, I'm so excited. I'm trying to make sure I list everything that's going on. New place. I need a new place to do a broadcast. I can't find a way to find out where this final place is going to be. And so that's all me, guys. And I thank you guys for watching, even if you watch it after it's live. Thank you for watching anyway. If you share, thank you for sharing. I'm going to play the rest of this song by Beyonce. Now, I know that she wrote this, she did this song on her first album, like, what, probably 13 years ago. This is her first album, like solo album. And, a lot has happened with her and her dad since this song. But, let's just take the song for what it is. And so, again, he's human just like everybody else. He made mistakes. And so, but she wrote this song, talking about her as a businessman, as a dad, all those things. And he made some mistakes. We heard a lot of things about him in the media. But, again, let's just take this song for what it is at this moment and not worry about the stuff he did after the song. So here we go. But thank y'all for watching. I just saw your video. I'm watching from Houston, Texas. Okay, hey Ryan, thank you for watching from Houston, Texas. I read an article. I hope it's not loud enough where y'all can hear me. Thank you for sharing. I read an article about the pregnancy rate in Texas, and I'm trying to find out what Pacific cities in Texas have the highest teen pregnancy rates. And they were saying that, it's the abstinence only sex education. But, what are the details of that? What are the details of the curriculum? That's what I want to know. And also, what cities in Texas have those high teen pregnancy rates? My brother has the book, The Wait by Megan Good and her husband, and I just skimmed through a little bit, and they mentioned Texas, and they were saying that, what are we really teaching them? And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. We tell people to wait, but we don't tell them how to wait, and that's what Queens in Waiting is about. We tell you to wait, But we don't tell you, well, I'm saying it's said to wait, but how does that look? And if you don't wait, okay, you gotta do X, Y, Z, obviously. You know, if you're on birth control or whatever, do what you do. But I'm just saying, if you tell me to wait, give me the reasons why I need to wait. Because that's, if you give me the reasons, that's probably gonna help me wait. And so that's, you know, that's that. So that's my whole ordeal. But yeah, shout out to Texas. I'll be there for MegaFest. So I'm excited about that. But it's a good song, y'all. I mean, you know, it is what he did. Who knows what truly went down with all that. You know, what was all of that. And, you know, her parents got a divorce and her mom moved on. You know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna take away from this song, though. Why girls wait after they get married? Okay, I don't. What are you saying? Are you asking me why do girls want to wait until they're married to have sex? Are you asking why do girls want to wait until they're married to have sex? Is that your question? I just want to make sure before I answer the question, I understand the question. So is your question, why do girls want to wait till they're married to have sex? Because sex is, it creates a form of intimacy, first of all. And so I talk about a lot about the purposes of sex in my broadcast from February, and I had a guest on the show actually, and so we talked about that. That was really awesome and still up if you want to go back and catch that. And I actually did 2 versions of this when I first started broadcasting last year, and so both of these are on YouTube actually. So in July of last year I did it, and then this year in February I talked about purposes of sex, and you know, that was really good too. And so just to give a short snippet of, you know, sex, you become one with who you have sex with. And so regardless of not if you walk down the aisle and say I do, you have sex with them, you are one with them. That person is now a part of you. So my thing is, I don't want to become one with you if I'm not going to be with you forever. And so that's the whole thing there. That is one of my reasons for wanting to wait. And a lot of my reasons, of course, they come from a Christian background. And so that's what I talk about, what the original purpose of sex. And so of course you bring children into the world. And so you want to bring children into where there is, you have the mom and the dad and they're together, and you guys are going to be raising that child together. Not to say that it can't work out, you know, that you no longer be with that person, you go with somebody else, you still can't make it work. But I'm just saying, I always go back to what was the original plan for sex. Sex is supposed to be shared between a husband and a wife. So, you know, that's my whole stance. But if you choose not to do that, then I mean, that's you. You have your own decision to make. That's just where I'm coming from. And I always say, you know, if you don't want to wait, or, you know, do the necessary steps you do if you're going to have sex. That's that. So that's, I don't know, of course, if they may be people, there's other people in different religions, so I don't know what their take is on sex, why they wait till they're married to have sex. But obviously, if you come from a Christian background, is, you know, wait till you're married. So that's I hope I answered the question for you and that made sense to you. So my whole deal is, and speaking of, you know, becoming one, this really touched my heart today. I was talking to a friend, and she told me that what she felt about the book. The book I wrote, Wait, Women in Intimate Health. And she was saying that, you know, she was so proud of me, and she was saying that I mentioned soul ties in the book. And she said she didn't know what soul ties were until she read my book. And I was like, oh my goodness. And you know, if you look in the Bible, it doesn't really say soul ties, but it talks about, you know, you're welcome. It talks about, you know, Adam and Eve becoming one, and you know, husband and wife becoming one when they have sex. It talks about Jonathan and David in the Bible. They were friends. They actually had a soul tie. So you can have good soul ties, you can have bad soul ties. And so, speaking of soul ties, I am planning to do soul broadcast on soul ties in July. So that is a sign. I need to do the broadcast on soul ties in July. And so she didn't know what a soul tie was, and I was telling her I had a soul tie with the first boyfriend. So that right there is another reason why sex for marriage is important. Why waiting for sex is important, because of the soul tie that it forms when you have sex with somebody. You still can have a non-sexual soul tie. Let me just straighten it up. So that's why I need to do the broadcast on soul ties, and it's so much information about that. And so obviously I'm probably gonna be able to cover it in, you know, the broadcast that I do for July. But not cover everything, but I'll just cover the basics. But that really made me feel great that she found something useful, and that a lot of people don't know about that. So that's what the whole the story behind the pleasure is about. People don't know about soul ties, because you always think, okay, why is he with her? Like, why is he still with her? And why is she still with him? Look, if she's given her body to him, he is now a part of her, you know? And so it's not hard to break that. It's so hard. That's why I'm about to go into this whole soul tie. We're gonna wait till July to do this. It's hard to break that, y'all. I'm excited. I read so many things about soul ties, and not just sexual, but like you can have there are other soul ties you can have, y'all. And so it doesn't just have to be with the person you have sex with. So in the meantime, you guys can Google soul ties until I get to that broadcast. I'm excited about it already. It ain't got her yet. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm trying to keep track of the time. I'm at 7:32. I'm good. If you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to head out. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you enjoyed this video, please share with your followers. I would love that. And I'm also going to post this on YouTube as well. But you guys have a good rest of the week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.